Hello everyone, welcome to Season 1, 2026, Week 1, Porsche Cup 992.2, new car, ABS, traction control. This is going to be a free lap guide, which is going to include a lot of things about the new car. First things first, I do coaching and I do setups every week for this car. If you are interested, all you have to do is click the link in the description of the video. You're going to be sent straight to my Discord. And if you want to see my Discord where you can get all my coaching reviews, everything that is said about my coaching, my job, great first session, right direction. Cannot recommend enough. Today we should have done it sooner. So you can see all the reviews, you can see all the setups. The conditions for the lap are the ones as follow right here. So just copy this and paste on the UI, then you're gonna be driving the same conditions. And I'm gonna play the lap in its entirety, and then I'm gonna do the actual lap guide. See you guys in a moment. So 155.2, really good lap. You can see here the fuel. So I began the lap with about 31 liters, so full tank race setup. Setup is exclusive on my Discord, so also if you're interested in a setup, everything is on the link in the description below. Now let's go for the actual lap guide. So coming here to turn 1, you want to be braking all the way on the wall pretty much, extending the entry as much as possible. Braking on a straight line. The braking, honestly, is the same thing as the old car. In a way, I'd like to say, imagine that you don't have ABS. That's how you want to be braking. If you were to compare the telemetry here, you can see that only on the final part of the braking, there is some ABS usage. You want to be using the ABS, but on a scale of 1 to 10 of how much ABS intensity you want to be using, you want to be on the lower end, so maybe 1 or 2. If you are using 10 of 10 ABS, let's say, you're going to understeer a lot. You're going to destroy the front tires. You're going to absolutely miss the corner, and it's going to be terrible. So yes, you want to be using ABS, but in a very smooth way. So coming here for turn 1, smooth braking input on the entry, going all the way to the wall, late apex. Essentially, you want to take sector 1 as one big thing. So the entirety here up from the entry point where you start to brake until the next braking zone, which would be turn 4, you want to consider this as one entire thing. So you want to be doing late apex turn 1 because you want to be able to bring the car more to the right to get a slingshot for turn 2, which is going to give you a slingshot for turn 3. So the way you do this is late apex turn 1, bring the car to the middle. Now you're going to be using the curb in our advantage. So if you see the curb here, the curb is flat, then it's banking, flat, banking, and then flat again. So flat on the asphalt, banking, flat, and then banking again. You want to be putting the left tire on the banked part of the inside of the curb, because this is going to hook your car to the left. So you're gonna get a lot of bouncing, a lot of rotation. And if you pay attention, this is exactly what I'm doing here. I'm getting a lot of rotation. My car is coming more to the middle of the track, and this is positioning me better for the right-hander, which is gonna allow me to slingshot. And again, I'm doing the same thing on the right-hander, bringing the car all the way out, extending the exit, carrying the speed, and slowly creeping to the right for the turn 4. One important note here, make sure you don't place your tires on the blue part, on the train here, and then go on the curb, because if you place your tires on the flat part and then you go on the curb, you're gonna bounce. By doing this, you avoid bouncing, you just skate, you just get hooked, but you're not bouncing, okay? That was the first part of the lap. Now we're coming here for, again, this is still sector 1. We're gonna be doing the same mindset as sector 1. So you're gonna enter this moment, and all the way into the end of the straight, everything that is in blue, you want to treat this as a single section. Why do I mean this? Well, because if you go very aggressive on this first left-hander, this one, you're going to absolutely miss the right-hander, which is absolutely going to make you miss the left-hander, and by missing the left-hander, you're going to miss the straight. So you need to understand a lot about sacrificing on 1, 2, and 3, because this way you're going to be able to slingshot on 4, which is 4 is the straight. So taking a late apex here, very close to the wall. Now the curb, if you see on the left, it's going to be the same thing as the curb from turn 2 and 3. The curb is flat, banked, flat, banked, flat. You're going to be hooking the inside banking. This is going to give you a lot of rotation. If you see here in slow motion, it's giving me a lot of rotation. The car is going to be more to the middle. A lot of stuttering. Oh my god. Now track limits here, if you pay attention, the limit is the white line, so your inside tire on the white line, you can see here, inside tire on the white line, sorry, outside tire, cutting as much as possible. Then you're going to be doing the same thing for the second one. In this one, I'm not even cutting as much as I could. And slowly creeping to the outside. This corner, even if you have 3 monitors, it's blind. Why? Because the A-pillar is completely on the way. What you can do here is, you can use the grandstands, or you can use the ambulance, as your reference point, depending on your graphic settings. If your graphic settings are low, we don't have none of those. What I like to do is come into this corner, take a quick look at the final grandstand, quick look at the ambulance, because this is gonna give me fixed points throughout the corner, and it's a really long corner. You don't really know where you are regarding the exit. So by having those fixed points, I can get a good idea on where I am, if I'm close to the exit or not. So taking a late apex, this corner is really important to know something. Pay attention that I'm going to be braking now, and I'm going to be releasing steering, brake and release steering. But what is happening here? You can see I don't even have any steering input by this point. So every time I brake, I'm going to be transferring weight from the rear axle to the front axle. By doing this, I'm going to get lateral movement on my rear tires, and this gives me rotation. So if you brake a bit more than this, I'm going to get even more rotation, and I'm going to be needing to be counter steering, which is not exactly ideal for this point. If you brake even more than that, well, you're going to spin, because the rear tires are going to overtake the front tires, because they have so little grip. They have a lot of rotation. So every time you brake, try to imagine braking as a way to generate rotation. The more you brake, the more rotation you generate. So in a corner like this, it's very important that you manage the braking smoothly, just creating enough rotation that you're just managing the rotation with your pedal and your hands. This way you're going to be able to get the car to point very easily. In this case, I even have a bit of a mismanagement there, misjudgment. 0x on the wall on the right. But again, it's part of this corner, it's part of the business. It's very difficult to judge. That's it. Now we're going to fast forward. Hopefully my game is not stuttering. Now we are officially starting the tricky part of the lap, which is everything in blue again. This is again a single section, all the way to the braking of the big straight. Why? Because if you mess this section, you're gonna mess the exit before the big straight, and then you're gonna be losing time all over it. Coming to this braking, there's a few ways you can take this braking. You can either brake following the white line, so a bit of on a corner angle. You can brake straight line. Then you're going to be more efficient on the braking, but you're going to have less space for the turn-in, because you're going to be essentially braking diagonally here, and you're going to be on the asphalt. I prefer to brake a bit of a corner angle, so braking following the white line, smooth braking, late apex, short shift to first, tap second. The moment I'm going to press throttle, you can see here, the moment I press throttle, I'm going to upshift, short shift. This is going to buy me rotation, managing the rotation of the throttle, getting super close to the wall on the right. Super close. Double apex here pretty much. Go a bit deep, then bring the car back. This is beautiful driving. Now, let's do 1, 2, 3. So one wall on the left. So one wall on the left, second wall on the outside, and then third wall on the left. You basically want to be hitting those 3 checkpoints. So bring the car as close as you can here to the left, extending all the way, using the brake to rotate, managing. Now bring the car all the way to the left again. And I like to bring the car left here and stick left to get a good angle for this bollard. This is the trickiest corner on the track by a mile, because if you miss the bounce, if you miss the angle, you're gonna bottom the front splitter and your car is gonna go to the moon. So trying to bring the car all the way left here and try to get a good angle for the right-hander. You don't want, this is important, you don't want the right tires to touch the curb on the middle. You want the right tires to be fully on the concrete, on the asphalt. Slow motion. Because this way you don't bottom out on the right side. And the left tires, you don't want the left tires to touch the asphalt. You want the left tires to be on the curbing. Because if the left tires touch the asphalt, it means they eventually are going to touch the curb again. And when they touch the curb, you're going to bounce. So again, let's try another camera so it's easy to see. Right side tire doesn't touch anything. Left side tire has to be touching some curb, because if you touch the asphalt, you're going to bounce eventually. So slow motion. You want to be getting as close as you can to the bollard. The bollard is either an off track or a slowdown, depending how much you abuse it. And now bringing the car all the way to the right. Go straight. All the way to the wall. Late apex here. Using the throttle to rotate. And this is something important. Remember, at the end of the first sector, we talked about how the brake is a way to generate rotation. And then you think, okay, what if I don't have any brakes? How do I generate rotation? Well, that is going to be the throttle. Here you're going to be using the throttle aggressively. The car is going to rotate, so using your feet to rotate, this time the right foot, bind rotation with that, then you're going to get a slingshot on the exit. That is going to be sector 2. Now sector 3, it's literally just the final big braking, because the rest is flat. I like to joke that here the braking is 180, so between 200 and 150, a bit close to 200, so the 180. Braking just like as if you didn't have ABS, smooth braking on the entry. Holding the peak. Late apex here, using the throttle to rotate, bringing the car all the way to the wall, and this is as flat as you can possibly get. Simple as that. That is a 155.2. If you check the splits, this was my optimal lap, so not much to gain. There's always some improving, especially the long left-hander at the end of sector 1. You saw that I had a misjudgment on pressing throttle a bit early, and then I had to back out and press throttle again. But that is the beauty of Miami. It's a really fun track. The pickup right now, it's good to drive. I think everybody's gonna like. I hope you enjoyed this free lap guide, which is also basically a coaching session. So if you enjoyed and you want more of this content, feel free to send me a message on Discord. And hope you have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.